Have you ever wondered if there are rules that guide everything in our lives? Think about the law of gravity. We all know that if you drop an apple, it will fall to the ground. This is a physical law that works for everyone, everywhere. But what if I told you there are other laws, ones that are not about physical things but about our thoughts, feelings, and experiences? These are called universal laws. They are like the secret instructions for how life works. Understanding them helps us understand ourselves and our journey. They show us why things happen the way they do and how we can create a life filled with purpose and meaning. They are not complicated rules from a book, but simple truths we can see every day if we just learn how to look. These laws are not here to control us or limit us. Instead, they are here to empower us. When you learn how a game is played, you can play it better, right? Life is very similar. The universal laws are the rules of the game of life. Knowing them helps you navigate challenges with more grace and create positive changes with more intention. It's like having a map for a journey. Without the map, you might feel lost, confused, or like you are just moving without direction. With the map, you understand the terrain, you know where the difficult parts are, and you can choose a path that leads to your destination. These laws are your map to a more conscious and fulfilling existence. Think of it this way: a farmer knows the laws of nature. The farmer knows they must plant seeds in good soil, give them water and sunlight, and be patient. The farmer works with the laws of nature, not against them, to get a beautiful harvest. We can learn to do the same with the laws of the universe. We can plant seeds of positive thoughts, nurture them with good feelings, and patiently wait for our dreams to grow into reality. These laws operate whether we believe in them or not, just like gravity. But when we become aware of them and start to live in harmony with them, our lives begin to transform in wonderful and unexpected ways. It is a journey from being a passenger to becoming the driver of your own life. This journey of understanding begins with curiosity and an open mind. We will explore 3 of the most important laws together: the law of love, the law of manifestation, and the law of polarity. We will look at what they are, how they work in our daily lives, and how you can use them to grow into a wiser, happier, and more compassionate person. This is not about complex philosophy. It is about practical wisdom you can apply right now, today. By the end of our exploration, you will see your life and the world around you in a new light, filled with more possibility and a deeper sense of peace. You will see that you are a powerful creator, capable of shaping your reality. The first and most powerful universal law is the law of love. But this is not just about the romantic love we see in movies. This is a much bigger, deeper concept. The law of love says that the energy that created the entire universe is an energy of pure, unconditional love. It is the force that connects everything and everyone. Think of it as the invisible thread that ties all of us together. It is the source of all life, all creation, and all goodness. This love is not something you have to earn or deserve. It is something that you are. You are made from this loving energy, and it flows through you at all times. Understanding this is the first step to truly understanding your place in the world. This law tells us that love is the ultimate creative force. When we act from a place of love, with kindness, compassion, and forgiveness, we are aligning ourselves with the most powerful energy in the universe. This is why acts of kindness feel so good, not just for the person receiving them, but for the person giving them too. You are tapping into that universal flow. When you choose to be kind to a stranger, to forgive someone who hurt you, or to be patient with yourself, you are practicing the law of love. It is not a passive feeling, it is an active choice. It is about seeing the divine spark in every person, including yourself, and treating them accordingly. This understanding brings a profound sense of peace and connection. So where does this love come from? It comes from what some people call God, the universe, source, or simply life itself. It doesn't matter what name you use. What matters is recognizing that there is a single, intelligent, and loving consciousness that is the source of everything that exists. We are all individual expressions of this one source. Imagine the ocean. It has many waves, and each wave is unique with its own shape and movement. But every single wave is still made of the same ocean water. We are like those waves. We are all unique individuals, but we are all made of the same universal, loving energy. This realization helps us to see beyond our differences and connect on a much deeper level. Understanding the law of love changes how you see everything. Instead of seeing a world full of separate people, you start to see a family of connected souls. You realize that what you do to another, you are in some way doing to yourself because we are all part of the same whole. This brings a great sense of responsibility but also a great sense of comfort. It means you are never truly alone. The same loving energy that created the stars and the mountains also created you. When you tap into this law, you tap into a limitless source of strength, creativity, and joy. It is the foundation upon which all other personal growth is built. The law of love is not just a beautiful idea, it has real practical effects on our world. It is the energy that drives creation and growth. Think about a plant. For a seed to grow into a strong, healthy plant, it needs care. It needs sunlight, water, and good soil. This care is a form of love. Without this nurturing energy, the seed cannot reach its full potential. The same is true for us. When we are surrounded by love, encouragement, and support, we thrive. When we live in environments filled with anger, fear, or criticism, our growth is stunted. Love is the essential nutrient for the soul, allowing us to blossom into the best version of ourselves. It is the force that builds, heals, and unites. Consider the power of love in your own relationships. When you approach a friendship or a partnership with genuine love, what happens? You build trust, you create security, and you foster deep connection. Love allows you to be patient when your friend makes a mistake. It helps you to listen with an open heart, even when you disagree. It encourages you to celebrate their successes as if they were your own. This is the creative power of love in action. It builds bridges between people. On the other hand, when relationships are based on fear, control, or selfishness, they become weak and eventually fall apart. Love is the glue that holds our human connections together and makes them strong and beautiful. This law also explains why helping others feels so rewarding. When you help someone, you are expressing love, and that aligns you with the universe's creative flow. It generates positive energy that comes back to you. This is not about expecting a reward, it is a natural consequence of the law. The joy you feel is the universe's way of saying, yes, this is the right way. The more love you give away, the more you seem to have. It is an infinite resource. A single candle can light 1,000 other candles without losing its own flame. In the same way, when you share your love with others, your own light does not diminish. In fact, it shines even brighter for all to see. Living by the law of love means making conscious choices every day. It means choosing compassion over judgment, both for others and for yourself. It means choosing forgiveness over holding on to anger. It means choosing to see connection instead of separation. When you face a difficult person, you can try to understand the pain or fear that might be causing their behavior. This doesn't mean you accept bad behavior, but it means you respond from a place of wisdom and love, not just reaction. By doing so, you not only help to heal the situation, but you also grow spiritually. You become a source of love in the world, and that is the most powerful thing you can be. The second powerful rule we will explore is the law of manifestation. This law is incredibly exciting because it tells us that we have the power to create our own reality. It states that whatever we focus on with our thoughts and feelings, we bring into our lives. In simple terms, your thoughts become things. This is not magic. It is a natural process of the universe. Your mind is like a powerful magnet. The thoughts you hold consistently send out a specific energy or vibration into the universe. The universe then responds by sending back experiences, people, and situations that match that same energy. If you constantly think thoughts of abundance and joy, you will attract more of that into your life. This law works through the power of focus and emotion. It is not enough to just think a positive thought once in a while. You must truly feel the emotion of already having what you desire. For example, if you want to manifest a new job, don't just think, I want a new job. Instead, imagine yourself already working in that job. What does it feel like? Feel the excitement, the satisfaction, and the gratitude. By generating these powerful feelings, you are sending a clear signal to the universe. You are telling it, this is the reality I am choosing to experience. The stronger and more consistent you're feeling, the more powerfully you attract that reality to you. There's also a concept called the unmanifest. This is the invisible realm of pure potential where all things exist as possibilities before they become physical reality. Think of an architect who wants to build a house. First, the idea of the house exists only in their mind. It is in the unmanifest. Then they draw a blueprint, which is a more concrete representation of the idea. Finally, workers use the blueprint to build the physical house. The house has moved from the unmanifest, an idea, to the manifest, a physical thing. Your thoughts work in the same way. Every thought you have is a blueprint. By focusing on that thought with strong emotion, you provide the energy needed to bring it from the unmanifest into your physical world. It is important to remember that this law is always working, whether you are aware of it or not. This means it also works with negative thoughts and feelings. If you constantly worry about not having enough money, you are focusing on lack. You are feeling the emotion of scarcity. As a result, the law of manifestation will bring you more experiences of lack and scarcity. The universe doesn't judge your thoughts as good or bad, it simply matches the energy you send out. This is why becoming conscious of your thoughts and feelings is so important. You are the architect of your life, and your thoughts are your tools. Choose them wisely to build the life you truly desire. So how can we use the law of manifestation in a practical way? Well, it starts with getting very clear about what you truly want. Many people, don't actually know what they want, they only know what they don't want. They might say, I don't want to be sick, or I don't want to be poor. But remember, the universe brings you what you focus on. If you focus on not being sick, you're still focusing on sickness. Instead, you really need to shift your focus to what you do want. For example, try saying, I want to be healthy and full of energy. This, right here, creates a positive and clear blueprint for the universe to follow. Take some time to write down your goals and desires in a positive and specific way. Once you have that clarity, the next step is to use visualization and feeling. Visualization is the practice of creating a detailed mental movie of your desired outcome. Just close your eyes and see yourself living that reality. If you want to manifest a loving relationship, imagine yourself walking with your partner, laughing together and feeling happy and secure. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? The more real you can make it in your mind, the more powerful your manifestation will be. The key is to evoke the feeling of having it now. Gratitude, honestly, is a particularly powerful emotion. Feeling grateful for what you desire as if you already have it supercharges your manifestation. Of course, manifestation is not just about sitting and thinking. It also requires inspired action. This means taking steps in the physical world that are aligned with your goal. However, this is not about forcing things or struggling hard. Inspired action feels different. It feels exciting, natural, and joyful. When you are aligned with your desire, the universe will start to send you opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities. Your job is to be open and to act on these opportunities when they appear. If your goal is to be a writer, inspired action might be the sudden urge to sign up for a writing class or to start a blog. It is about co-creating with the universe. You set the intention, and then you act when the door opens. Finally, you must learn to let go and trust the process. After you have set your intention, visualized, felt the feelings, and taken inspired action, you need to release your attachment to the outcome. This can honestly be the hardest part. If you are constantly worrying about when or how it will happen, you are introducing doubt and resistance into the process. This sends a mixed signal to the universe. Trust that the universe has received your request and is working to bring it to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Have faith in the law. Continue to focus on feeling good in the present moment and be open to receiving your desire in ways you might not have expected. The third law we will discuss is the law of polarity. This law is fascinating and helps to explain so much about the world. It states that everything in the universe has an opposite, and these opposites are actually two sides of the same thing. You cannot have one without the other. For example, think of hot and cold. Cold is not a separate thing, it is simply the absence of heat. They are both just different degrees on the same scale of temperature. The same is true for light and dark, up and down, good and bad, and happiness and sadness. These are not separate forces fighting against each other, they are two poles of the same spectrum of experience. This law is essential for creation and for our experience of life. How could you know what happiness is if you had never felt sadness? How could you appreciate the light if you had never been in the dark? The contrast is what allows us to perceive and understand things. Imagine a world where it was always daytime. At first it might sound nice, but soon you would lose your appreciation for the light. It is the experience of night that makes the sunrise so beautiful. Opposites define each other and give life its richness and meaning. Without polarity, there would be no movement, no change, and no growth. life would be static and boring. The law of polarity teaches us that challenges and difficulties are a necessary part of life. We often try to avoid pain, failure, or sadness. We see them as bad things that we need to get rid of. But this law shows us that these experiences are the other side of the coin to joy, success, and peace. Your challenges are not there to punish you, they are there to teach you. A problem is simply the cold pole of a solution. Within every problem lies the seed of its own solution. When you face a difficulty, instead of despairing, you can ask, what is this trying to teach me? What is the opposite of this feeling, and how can I move toward it? This understanding helps us to find balance in our lives. Many of us swing from one extreme to another. We might be extremely happy one day and extremely sad the next. The goal of a wise person is not to eliminate sadness forever, but to find the calm center point between the two poles. It is about learning to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and understanding. You learn that this too shall pass, whether it is a moment of great joy or a moment of deep sorrow. You can appreciate the good times without clinging to them, and you can endure the hard times knowing that they are temporary and hold valuable lessons. This brings a deep and unshakable inner peace. The law of polarity is not just an abstract concept, it is the engine of our personal growth. Every challenge we face presents us with a choice. It is an opportunity to learn and become stronger. Think about lifting weights at the gym. The resistance of the weight is what makes your muscles grow. Without that negative force of resistance, there would be no positive result of strength. In the same way, life's challenges provide the resistance we need for our character and soul to grow. A difficult relationship teaches you about patience and boundaries. A financial struggle can teach you about resourcefulness and what truly matters in life. Every problem is a spiritual workout in disguise. This law also helps us to have more compassion for others. When we understand polarity, we realize that the qualities we dislike in others are often the opposite pole of qualities we admire. For example, a person who seems stubborn could also be seen as determined from another perspective. A person who is too quiet might also be a great listener. We start to see that people are complex and that everyone is just trying to find balance. This perspective allows us to judge less and understand more. We can appreciate the differences in people, knowing that their unique qualities contribute to the rich tapestry of life. Every person has something to teach us, even those we find difficult. We can actively use this law to change our state of mind. Because happiness and sadness are two poles of the same thing, you have the power to move your focus along that spectrum. If you are feeling sad, you can consciously choose to focus on things that bring you joy. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing your sadness. It is important to acknowledge your feelings, but you don't have to get stuck at the negative pole. You can acknowledge the sadness and then gently shift your mental and emotional focus. You can listen to uplifting music, call a friend who makes you laugh, or spend time in nature. You can consciously raise your vibration and move yourself toward the pole of happiness. Ultimately, the law of polarity invites us to embrace all of life. It asks us to stop labeling experiences as good or bad, and instead see them all as part of a perfect whole system. The rain is just as necessary as the sunshine. The night is just as important as the day. Failure is just as valuable as success. When we accept this truth, a great sense of peace can enter our lives. We stop resisting reality and start flowing with it. We see the beauty and purpose in every moment, whether it is joyful or challenging. We understand that it is all part of the magnificent dance of creation, and we are here to experience all of it. These three laws, love, manifestation, and polarity, work together to guide our evolution. We can understand this journey by looking at three simple character types: the bad person, the good person, and the wise person. These are not labels for people, but stages of understanding that we all move through. The bad person is someone who is not aware of these laws. They act mostly from selfishness and instinct. They believe life is about taking what you can get, and they often cause harm to others because they don't understand the law of love, that we are all connected. They are often trapped in negative cycles, manifesting more problems because their thoughts are focused on fear and lack. The good person is a step up. This person has learned some of society's rules about right and wrong. They try to be kind and follow a moral code. They understand that it is better to help than to harm. This is a beautiful and necessary stage of growth. However, the good person's understanding can sometimes be rigid. They might judge others who don't follow the same rules. They often operate from a strong sense of polarity, seeing the world in black and white as good versus evil. They may try hard to be good and avoid being bad, but they have not yet fully understood the deeper unity behind the opposites or the creative power of their own consciousness. The wise person represents the next stage of evolution. This person has moved beyond rigid rules and understands the universal laws. The wise person knows the law of love, that all is one, and that unconditional love is the highest truth. They don't just act good because they are supposed to. They act from a place of genuine compassion because they see themselves in everyone. They understand the law of manifestation, so they consciously choose their thoughts and feelings to create a positive reality for themselves and others. They are masters of their inner world. They are not controlled by their circumstances. They are the creators of their circumstances. Most importantly, the wise person understands the law of polarity. They don't judge things as good or bad. They see challenges as opportunities for growth. They see the bad person not as evil, but as a soul who is still learning, a soul who is unconscious of the laws. They offer compassion, not condemnation. The wise person has found the balance point. They are not thrown off by the highs and lows of life. They live in a state of inner peace and equilibrium, centered in love and awareness. This is the journey we are all on, a journey from unconsciousness to consciousness, from separation to unity, from being a good person to becoming a wise one. Now that we have explored these powerful laws, the question is, how do we apply this wisdom to our daily lives? The journey begins with small, conscious choices every day. To live by the law of love, practice simple acts of kindness. Hold the door for someone. Give a genuine compliment. Listen to a friend without interrupting. And most importantly, practice self-love. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and speak to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. See the divine in everyone you meet. This simple practice will slowly transform your perception of the world from a place of separation to a place of loving connection. To work with the law of manifestation, start monitoring your thoughts. Become an observer of your mind. When you catch yourself thinking a negative or fearful thought, gently notice it without judgment and choose a better feeling thought instead. Create a daily practice of gratitude. Every morning or evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. This simple act shifts your focus from what is lacking to what you already have, attracting more abundance into your life. Spend 5 minutes each day visualizing your goals as if they are already achieved. Feel the joy and excitement. This is how you become the deliberate creator of your experience. To honor the law of polarity, learn to embrace your challenges. When you face a difficult situation, instead of resisting it, ask yourself, what is the lesson here for me? What strength is this challenge asking me to develop? See problems not as punishments, but as puzzles that are designed to make you wiser. Practice appreciating differences in other people. When someone has an opinion that is the opposite of yours, try to understand their perspective instead of immediately trying to prove them wrong. This builds bridges of understanding and helps you see the value in all sides of a situation, making you more flexible and balanced. Living in harmony with these universal laws is a lifelong practice, not a destination you arrive at overnight. It is a journey of becoming more conscious, more loving, and more empowered. By understanding these simple rules of the universe, you can navigate your life with more wisdom and grace. You can learn to see challenges as gifts, to appreciate the beautiful diversity of life, and to consciously create a life filled with love, joy, and purpose. The universe is not random. It is an intelligent and loving system. You have the power to align with its flow and co-create a beautiful reality. Your journey to a more peaceful and fulfilling life starts now, with your very next thought.